Somewhere in 2017, 2018, I attended, I think, TAFCON, and then there was a speaker who spoke about migration and why migration worked in the Gambia. And then he gave an example of how every beautiful house in almost every single street are owned by Gambians who do not live in Gambia. Just hold that thought there because definitely going to come back to it. And welcome to Mike and Mine with Omar. And today I will be talking about surviving modern expectation and migration. I unless when you're living under the rock, but recently there has been a lot of conversations on social media, on mainstream media, and even government is talking about it, which is the illegal migration, often called Backway in the Gambia. Some critics have said that, especially government, that illegal migration is not because of lack of job, that send a lot of migrants to countries they believe will better their lives. And then proponents, obviously those that are supporting illegal migration, had said that it happened because young people lose hope and they believe that they cannot make it in the Gambia, and that is the reason why they embark on this dangerous journey to Europe. I mean, whichever side of the divide you stand on, I think you have a point, and I'm not saying your point or your opinion is the best opinion out there. I want to talk on both sides, and my viewers, which are all of you, will definitely choose the side that they think is the is the side that they want to align themselves with. But there is, for me, in all of this conversation, I believe that there is an underlying issue which often is not spoken enough in the mainstream media, which is surviving modern expectation. I mean, unarguably, all of us, in one way or the other, have known one person or two, or even have family members who embark on the back way to Europe, and then they became so successful. They have better our lives back home. They better their own lives and better the lives of their parents. At least, I believe that if my brothers have not stood firm to support me, and I believe I wouldn't have gone as far as I have gone. And definitely, some of those people have gone to Europe through the back way. But that is beside the point. My whole point of discussion today is that society put a lot of expectation on young people, and they put because they put a lot of expectation on young people, they make people believe that just because you have not traveled, just because you've not built a beautiful house for yourself, for your family, and maybe just because you're not giving your family that life that they hope they one day have, or they believe they deserve, then you're not worthy of living, or you're not worthy of being in the position that you are, or you are not worthy of any form of love, support, kindness, and so many things. And to address the issue of, or to talk about the issue of illegal migration and societal expectation, we have to start questioning, why do families, friends, and loved ones think that leaving the Gambia to Europe is the only way to success? I believe that this opinion that is held by so many people did not come from out of the blue. There is a model that has worked. And because everybody sees that model that has worked, and they believe that, people believe that that is the ultimate way out. And this reminded me of what I've told you about one of the speakers who spoke about why migration worked in the Gambia and why it was going to be difficult, why it is going to be difficult to stop migration. He argued that a lot of the time for people to be something, they need to see it, because seeing is believing. Seeing is such a good evidence. People believe that going to the Europe, I mean, working there or making money and sending it back home and taking care of your families is the only way to come out of poverty. And they're not wrong for believing in that, because they have seen countless times where that is the model that has worked. Let's at this point picture a young person that worked in the Gambia. And the person might have worked for, I mean, 5, 6 years, or even more than that. And then the salary that is paid to them is even difficult for them to be able to take care of themselves, talk less of their families. And then how do we expect somebody like that to be able to live up to the expectation that his parents or her parents and the society has placed on their shoulders? I guess we all know the answer. For a lot of young professionals, because I have worked in Gambia, obviously in the government sector, for at least couple of years, and I am privy to what the numeration looks like, and I'm also privy to how much different, I mean, government, different workers within at least the sector in which I worked at had to receive at the end of the month. So for you to plan your life around that is absolutely difficult. And because we all need money, we all need resources, we all need opportunities in order to become a better version of ourselves, I believe these are some of the push factors why people will leave their jobs to embark on illegal migration or to embark on Backway. And for some other people, it is lack of jobs. They do not have jobs, and they lose every hope that they have. And they believe that the only way for them to make it is to embark on a journey that is very dangerous, and that also I mean, claim a lot of lives. And as I said, recently there has been a lot of conversations about it on social media. And government came out to say that, when I say government, I'm talking about the Gambia government, came back to say that they do not believe that lack of jobs is the reason why people are leaving. In fact, they have created a lot of jobs. But at this point, my question or my concern or opinion is not about how many jobs have been created. Out of those jobs that have been created, how many of those jobs pay people, I mean, a better numeration or better salary that they are able to take care of themselves, take care of their families and loved ones? So when you look at a lot of young people, even as far as university graduates, at least myself included, and so many people who have the opportunity to work in the government sector, I have seen my friends who work in the private sector and how much discrepancy in terms of pay, or how much difference in terms of pay gap there is between government and private sector. And I've equally seen my friends how much they have been able to accomplish for themselves by merely working in Gambia and living there, and they have never leave the source of the Gambia to work anywhere else. But this is definitely not the story of every single person. So therefore, I believe that government should not only stop at creating jobs. Aside the creation of jobs, government should look at the salary structures. And I know people will tell me that the government has increased salaries, I think about 3 times since they came to power. I mean, kudos to them. That is fantastic. and I believe that it can only get better and better. But at this point, I want to say that despite the fact that salaries have been increased multiple times, how much of that increase reflect in the pocket of people that are below the a certain level, or people that we, I mean, society or cadre wise, or maybe role wise, are the ones that are at the bottom of the pyramid. So for a lot of those people, the increment is great, but it doesn't make much difference. So because it doesn't make much difference, if they have seen opportunities they believe will change their lives, they're going to leave those jobs and go. I believe, or at least I have not heard about any director or any manager or any executive director in any government position or a private sector who left their job and embark on illegal journey back to Europe, right? So I believe that when people reach at a certain level where their jobs are fulfilling and they are able to make at least a decent amount of money to take care of themselves, to take care of their families, they will be willing to stay and work. And aside saying that on the part of the government, I also believe that society plays a huge role. The burden that we place on young people to be successful is not fair. The amount of expectation we put on young people is so huge that people find it difficult to carry. And I think for parents, loved ones, and friends, it is not fair to put any burden on people that they are unable to carry. Let let's encourage every young person, whether they are in educational institution, vocational institution, or they are into entrepreneurship, or any sector, to work hard. Let's support them by buying their products, that is, if they are entrepreneurs. Let's give them opportunities by supporting their educational journey. And if they want to venture into entrepreneurship, if we have the resources to help them, let's help them, let's encourage them in order to make sure that they become successful at what they are doing. Because if they become successful at what they are doing, they become a shining example of what is possible in the Gambia. They become a shining example of making it in the Gambia, and they wouldn't find the need to embark on a journey that is not only dangerous but claims a lot of lives. Aside that as well, I believe that government can go further by ensuring that policies are enacted that supports young entrepreneurs. I had the opportunity to run a business in the Gambia. I know how hard it is to run a business in the Gambia. I also know how hard it is to gather support from colleagues in the Gambia. Because for a lot of people, if an opportunity is not started by me, then it doesn't deserve my attention. If an opportunity is not putting the money in my pocket, it doesn't deserve my support. So I believe that we need a change of mindset. We need, a new normal that believes that making it in the Gambia is going to be collective. A new normal that believes that, yes, we can make it in the Gambia, but it is not a straightforward road. It is a road that requires the support of the government, that requires the support of the private sector, that requires the support of family members, but also individuals ourselves. Let's provide or let's ensure that young people get the opportunity to be educated, to be trained, and to be able to utilize their skills when they finished. I am not also blind to the fact that sometimes young people ourselves put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We want to be like everybody else. And I'm not saying if you that is what you want, you are wrong. But I'm saying that before you put pressure on yourself about anybody, about any successful person, it is important to understand what got them where they are. Some of those people, they had privileges, they had opportunities. I mean, they came from families who had connections, who had resources to catapult them into where they are. And you might not be that fortunate. And because you are not that fortunate, thinking that or trying to put yourself in that individual's shoe would only make you depressed, will make you believe that your timing is wrong, but will also make you bitter about your own lives. So, for every young person trying to figure it out in the Gambia or anywhere in the world, it's not easy. I understand the journey. I have been there. I am still there. I want to tell you that hard work will always pay. I know that there are challenges, and I'm not blinded by those challenges. I also understand that there are issues uh, in the country, but those issues are not only peculiar to Gambia as well. It is across the world. I mean, everywhere is getting harder and harder. So therefore, tapping on your God-given talent, believing in yourself, and hoping that things will get better at some point will definitely push you into the right direction, and definitely you're going to reach a place where you think, yes, I think this is the moment I have been waiting for. So if you've just been joining us now, this is Mike and Mine with Omar, and today I'm talking about migration and surviving modern societal expectation. I believe two important topics that recently has taken over our social media space in the Gambia, with definitely government coming out to say their side of the story. I mean, some activists and individuals also coming out to talk about the other side that government is not talking about, because they are focusing on the jobs that they think they've created, the the numeration that they think they've made better, and other people are talking about other push factors that send people away. So I sit here today to not tell you that what government is saying is the right thing, or what individuals are saying is also the right thing. But I want us to look at the issue with an objective lens. Let's examine ourselves. Let's look at what happens in our homes. Let's also look at ourselves as individuals. What do we think we do or say that push other people to take journeys that can be risky? And on the side of the government, can you do better in order to ensure that young people have gainful employments, employment that do not only pay them a minimum wage, but at least a decent income to be able to take care of themselves and their families? Absolutely, yes. Is this possible? Absolutely. And how soon can it happen? I have no idea. But I believe that if we sit on a round table where we have this conversation, government looks at what has worked and what hasn't worked. Society and individuals also start reducing the pressure we put on young people. Start encouraging young people that work and live in Gambia, and be a lot more understanding to their situation. I mean, their plight, and then their current conditions. I believe that together we will be able to cope or even eliminate the use of Backway to countries where sometimes we think before coming everything is jolly and dandy, but in reality, that might not be the case in so many places. So if you think what I'm saying or what I have said um, either aligns with your opinion or differs with your opinion, please put it in the comment section. And that is why I believe my community is diverse, because we can agree to disagree, we can challenge opinions, we can challenge beliefs, and that is what makes us not only unique, but also I think that's where our strength lies in. So thank you very much. And before I go, I want to say, my condolences to all families and loved ones who lost, their family members and loved ones to the sea, and then to those that are still missing without any information, to their families and loved ones. I am sorry, and I believe that this must be a very painful and difficult moment for all of you. And I hope and pray that you all find solace and calm, and also, I mean, and also strength to be able to go through this. And to other young people that are still back home, I understand that I might not be in the best position to tell you what to do, but I want to say that let's continue to work hard. Let's continue to believe in ourselves. Let's continue to improve our skills with the hope that those skills get us wherever we need to go to, and with the hope that those skills take us to farther and better places. So thank you all until I come back on your way. It has been Mike and Mine with Omar, and thank you. Hello and welcome to Mike and Mine with Omar. And this is another episode. And today I want to talk to you about becoming yourself. Um, to choose this topic, I had to reflect on two important things. First was somewhere 2016, 2017. I was part of passionate young students at the University of the Gambia, where we had a leadership training. And one of the topics that we were taught on was discovering yourself. And I also remember in 2018, the former First Lady of United States of America, Michelle Obama, released a book called Becoming Michelle Obama. And I had the opportunity of reading that book as well. Reading that book and also attending the University of the Gambia Leadership Fellowship, and having the opportunity to be in a class where we are taught about self-discovery, I have realized that becoming yourself is a journey, not a destination. And today, that is what my topic is going to be: becoming yourself, and the lessons that I have learned that I want to share with all of you. So, if you're just joining us, this is Mike and Mine with Omar, and please subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and tap on the bell icon, so whenever I put up a new video, you get notified, and then we stay in touch. So as I've said, becoming yourself is not a final destination, but a journey that we all undergo through. This was a lesson that I have learned in Michelle Obama's book, Becoming Michelle Obama. And I've also realized that, or I've also learned that from that book, uh, becoming is everything that we undergo until the day we finally answer to the call of God. Because when you ask a child, what do you want to become, or what do you want to be when you grow up, they have so many things that they want to be, But as time goes on, do they become all of the things that they've mentioned when they are a child? And I also vividly remember in the same book, she had said that I think one of the weird questions or adults can ask children is, what do you want to be when you grow up? And then she went further to say that growing up or becoming is not static. It means that which means that it can change. Today you can be a medical doctor. In a couple of years to come, you can choose to be a communications professional. And in many years to come, you can choose to be an entrepreneur. So therefore, nobody completely figures out how to become, but you go through a process. You actually, beside the fact that you go through a process to become whatever you want to be, you also you are also shaped by so many factors along the journey. The first factor that I want to share today that becoming ourselves is influenced by is our culture and tradition. I read a study probably a couple of days ago that was talking about how culture and traditions and language shape who we are. And this is relevant to this topic because the study concluded that cultures or traditions that emphasize on individuality, the people grow from those cultures to become very successful people individually, and cultures that put emphasis on um, community, being there for people, also groom people that become very community oriented. They become team players, and they also become leaders because they know how to work with people, they know how to listen, and they also know how to work with and work around people in order to achieve a common goal. So another important factor that shape who we are is the privileges and opportunities that we have. I mean, some of us, fortunately, are born with silver spoon, and we might have gone to the best schools that are available. And our parents gave us the best education that money can buy at the time, and they help us build connections. And some other people do not have those opportunities. They don't have the opportunity to get the best education. They don't have the opportunity to go to the best schools that probably exist. So later on in life, all of these things come together because the connections you build, the opportunities you have, the privileges that you have catapult you into becoming a better version of yourself as you grow up. So another important thing that another factor that is also important in order to consider when we are talking about becoming yourself is the environment. Many studies have shown that people become products of their environment. And this is important because the kind of environment you grew up in has a huge influence to the kind of person that you become. Let's picture this. If you grew up in an environment where everybody goes to work, or people are entrepreneurs, everybody is decent, they work hard in order to achieve their goals, they work hard to provide a better life for themselves and their families, you have a high chance of being like those people because you've seen an example of what being successful looks like. You've seen an example of when I do A, B, and C, I am going to look like these people. And when you also grow up in an environment that is crime infested, and an environment that has little or no opportunities, or an environment that is war, that is being infested by wars or disasters and so many things, there is a tendency that you will not achieve as much as your counterparts that grew up in other environments that provided all of the opportunities that exist. So, therefore, becoming yourself is shaped by so many factors. So, when that's why often I personally find it really difficult when people ask me to introduce myself. And I bet this is not just me. It's so many people that struggle with this question because we begin to think about what part of me should I share, because nobody is a single thing and nobody becomes one thing during the course of your life. We change and we become so many things. And the difficulty with that question is, what do I say to this individual that fully describe who I am? And personally, for me, at some point, I was a student leader. At some point, professionally, I became a nurse. I co-founded an NGO, became an executive director, and at some point became a public relations officer. I mean, I became an entrepreneur, a father, a husband, and many other things. So asking me to introduce myself, I begin to think about, am I talking about my accomplishments? Am I talking about my values? Or am I talking about my social standing? And I think that this is the same thing that so many people battle with. Therefore, becoming yourself or becoming means that you are going through a journey that everybody goes through. You become one thing at this point and you become another in another point. So it is not a static um, process. It is a process that evolves from one stage to the other. So now let me talk about the important lessons that I drew from the book that I read, as I stated earlier, Becoming Michelle Obama, and also the leadership lessons that I took at the University of the Gambia. The first lesson I want to share today is knowing who you are. Knowing who you are is difficult. It's difficult in the sense that we live in a world where people project a lot of who they are onto you. So trying to figure out who you are is difficult because you tend to accept what people say you are, what society says you are, or maybe professionally what a profession say you are supposed to be. So knowing who you are becomes a critical component of becoming yourself. So what values do you hold? At least um, for some, honesty is important to them. Um, I mean, being truthful is important, being educated is important, and being a good human being is important to them. And for some people, it's about being successful, it's about making a lot of money, it's also about manipulating anybody that you meet as long as it gives you something that you're looking for. So, knowing your values and understanding how these values help you achieve whatever you want to achieve for yourself, I think is the first step in becoming yourself. And this is also something that was shared in the book that stated earlier. But also understanding what strengths do you have and what matters to you. At least I know that we live in a world where diversity sells. Becoming, I mean, so many things is integral to being a successful person. And I did a whole video about being jack of all trade. If you have not watched that, you can check on this channel, Mike and Mine with Omar, and then you're going to see that video. And I advise you to watch that because it's an important video that tells you about how diversity is helpful in today's world. And finally, knowing what matters to you in terms of knowing who you are is important. You need to choose what to put your energy on, what deserves your attention and what doesn't deserve your attention. We live in a world where there is a lot of noise about so many things. Social media is sending all of us into it's sending all of us into different directions. Some great, others not so great. But at the end of the day, you deciding that this is important to me and this is not important to me, I think is an important thing in, or I think it's important to becoming yourself. So aside knowing yourself as the first lesson that I talked about, the second lesson is accepting your imperfections. I mean, nobody is perfect. And in my previous video, I talked about how when you open social media, we see perfect people, perfect houses, perfect travels, and so many perfect things. It is important to understand that nothing in this life is that perfect, and nobody on the face of this earth is perfect. So, accepting your imperfections and understanding that being vulnerable is not a weakness, but it is part of you accepting who you are and learning from the mistakes that you make in order to become a better version of yourself is important. And I think all of that will come together in helping you to become a better version of yourself. Third lesson that I want to share today is following your own path. I understand that a lot of us, or almost all of us, deals with societal expectation of what success looks like. We also deal with family expectations of what we are supposed to be and what we are not supposed to be, who we are supposed to be in this world and who we are not supposed to be. But it's important to understand that following your own path means you have to be intentional about uh, about deciding that this is what I want and this is what aligns with the course or the core of my values, and this is what how I want to present myself. I will give you an example about being intentional in following your path. I've seen people who had decided to not follow the conventional educational path to success. They've chosen to become musicians. They've chosen to become artists. They've chosen to become designers. I mean, all of those professions that society had told us when we were younger, they are not the it professions. They went into these professions knowing that this is what they want. They worked extremely hard and they achieve greater things. Even people that are in jobs that society had commended them for, they achieve success more than those people. So therefore, understanding what your path is and following your path only takes you to a direction that leads you to success, that leads you to becoming a better version of yourself, and that also leads you to a journey that is fulfilling, a journey that is worth living, but also a journey that is impactful. And the final lesson that I want to share with you today is that you need to keep evolving. Keep becoming yourself means that there are things that you are going to unlearn. I mean, when probably we are younger or as we grow up, society had told us to look certain ways. Let's say, for example, in our culture, in many cultures, when you're talking to elders, you're not supposed to look at them, right? When elders are talking, whether what they are saying is the right thing or not the right thing, as a young person, you're not supposed to you're not supposed to respond. You're supposed to let them talk. And also, elders are never wrong, right? I'm not saying these cultures are supposed to be thrown away, right? But I feel like in this day and age, we need to unlearn some of those things that we have been told. Because, for example, when you go for an interview, they are not going to say that because you come from a certain culture, eye contact will be way for you. You need to make an eye contact because it shows how confident you are of yourself and the things that you're saying. So, unlearning some of those things we are told as we are younger and learning new things, as in learning to speak for yourself, learning to say no when whatever is put to you is not serving you anymore, but also learning to decide the kind of relationships that you keep are going to be things that will help you in becoming a better version of yourself. So if these 4 lessons that I've said resonates with you in one way or the other, comment below in the comment section. Like this video, obviously share with friends and family, and let's, come together to build a community that, will always show up for each other, a community that understands that we can't do this life alone. We need to have people that are going to be that we are going to lean on, also people that are going to lean on us as well. So before I go away, I want to leave you with this quotation that obviously got from, I can't remember the source because it's been many years, but it's still very important to me. It says that becoming yourself is a continuous act of awareness, acceptance, courage, and evolution. So, becoming yourself, as Michelle Obama rightly put, it is not a destination, but a journey. And thank you very much. It has been Mike and Mine with Omar. And until I come on your way again, and have a wonderful day. Bye. Are you familiar with the saying that technical skills or hard skills will get you the interview and soft skills will get you the job? While that sinks in, welcome to Mike and Mine with Omar, and I will be discussing soft skills in today's changing world and how relevant it is in ensuring that we occupy spaces that are meant for us. I was recently watching a documentary that was done on hard skills and how technical skills are not enough in order to be successful in whatever career that you've chosen for yourself. But what was staggering for me in this interview or in this documentary was the fact that studied so 85% of job satisfaction comes from those with great or greater soft skills. And then I started thinking, what happened to the technical skills? What happened to the tactical skills? Because for a very long time, I believe a lot of us have been told one thing and one thing only. That is to go to school, get the best education that is possible or that your parents can afford, come out of the university, get the best jobs, become the CEOs, the leaders, the managers, and the problem solvers that you've been trained to become. And then, get a good salary at the end of the month, live a great life, and then the cycle continues on monthly basis. But this trend is changing, and it is changing at a faster rate. And let me give you a life scenario. When you have two people or two young people who all have the same technical skills, and to make it more realistic, I am going to say that two people who all study public health. I say public health because that is within my field of familiarity. And they both study public health and they both apply a job to become maybe a public health professional, public health officer, or they apply jobs in institutions that they are both qualified for, because they all have the same relevant skill sets. That is the hard skills. They are both invited to the job. Who do you think will get ahead? Because the tangibles, which are the hard skills, are all the same. So for the interviewers to make a decision, they will now have to look at the soft skills. And when I talk about the soft skills, I am talking about their communication skills, innovative skills, negotiation skills, and empathy as well. And in all of these skills that I have mentioned, or if there could even be more skills that the interviewers will look at, they will assess them apart from the technical skills. They will assess them in any of those skills and decide who they think best fit the job, and the person gets the offer. And today, I want to point out 3 important skills and my personal experiences with these skills and how I think these skills are relevant in today's job market. They are relevant for our personal relationships, but they are also very relevant in ensuring that we are not only successful at our jobs, at our relationships, but we are also successful in every single opportunity that presented itself to us. The first skill I want to discuss today is communication skills. Communication skills enable us to communicate our ideas. It enables us to communicate our feelings. It enables us to communicate our thoughts across borders, to different people and to different audiences. And I think somewhere back in, it must have been somewhere around 2018, 2019, or perhaps 2016. I'm not so good with date. I saw an advert that was talking about how a certain brand needed children to advertise their products and services. And I took the initiative to just write them up by saying that, hey, my name is so and so and so. I actually work with this organization, and we work with children, and we do this and that and that and that. So the audience that you're looking for, which is obviously the children, to advertise your product and services, I have the ability to give you, you're looking for about 10 children, I have the ability to give you almost 100 children to provide the same services for you. And in return, you sponsor our activities that are designed to empower these children, that were designed to support them, help them build skills that are going to be relevant for them as they transition from children to adults. And then they are like, it sounds brilliant, and send us a proposal. And I did. And several weeks after going back and forth, the proposal was approved and we were granted support, a support that has transformed the organization that I worked with at the time. And up to date, I feel like that support was the basis of why we exist, why we still exist as an organization. So therefore, communication skills, or your ability to be able to communicate, does not only help in terms of getting the required resources that you need, but it helps you in communicating your ideas even beyond borders. And mind you, this happened outside of the Gambia at the time. So it was an international organization, and because of how effective I had communicated what I was communicating, they believed in me, and then they gave us the services. And beyond that as well, I have found myself in so many opportunities where, or in so many circumstances where people believe that I should say something about something that is happening. And sometimes it goes the best way possible. In other times, not so great. But communication skills are relevant in ensuring that you are able to express yourself. You are able to set boundaries and communicate those boundaries clearly. Because let's say in workplaces, conflicts are bound to happen. There are a lot of conflicts that exist. So, and a lot of people have said that conflicts in workplaces are normal. But it's important while conflict is happening, or before conflict starts, for you to communicate clearly what your stance are, what your opinions are, and express it in a way that is not only clear, but also understood. The next soft skill I want to talk to you about is empathy. Empathy is putting yourself in someone else's shoe. And but for me, the most important thing about empathy as a soft skill is to make people understand that they are seen, they are understood, and then they mattered. And I'll share a short story about how I led a department in the hospital, and there were a couple of people who had dreams of going to the university to further their study. They did not have the approved study leave to be able to do so, and then they were very much determined to further their education. And then when I was approached as their leader at the time, I mean, called a meeting, obviously, to discuss the plight of those people and seek the understanding of other team members to give them a work shift that was favorable, a work shift that enables them to be able to come to work, perform their duties as expected of them, and also to be able to attend their classes. I guess people that are not familiar with healthcare might be saying, but how does that happen? I mean, in a lot of healthcare institutions, we operate 24 hours and 7 days a week. So this means that they can be placed on afternoon shift or night shift. And any of these shifts give them an opportunity to attend classes that are in the morning. And while from classes, they have the opportunity to go back home, especially in the case of night shift, to sleep and rest and come back to work in the following day. And we're able to do this, and these individuals were able to go to school, and I think most of them has graduated now. But the important lesson I picked up from being flexible to those individuals as leader and being empathetic to their plight at the time is the fact that anytime they are needed to do any form of favor for the department, they were willing to do so. And I say this to leaders: when you support your staff and when you make them feel seen, valued, and relevant, they will in turn, provide you the services that are needed. They will in turn provide the services that your department requires and need. But most importantly, they will stand by you as a leader in every situation, whether it is difficult, whether it is easy, or whatever the situation will require. So empathy in today's world is relevant. It enables you to align with people, their values, but it also enables you to put yourself in the shoes of others so that you make a decision that is not only going to be short-term and relevant, but a decision that is going to be life-changing. And the last skill I want to discuss today is negotiation. And again, somewhere 2017, 18, Catch Them Young Gambia, some of you already know, we organized the Kids Got Talent Gambia. And then I approached a certain media house to provide a coverage for the program, not only to cover, but coverage and airtime, so that they are also able to play the show on their television station. And then a quotation was sent to us, which was, I think, above $100,000, if I can remember, but it was a substantial amount of money. And then I reached out to the marketing department of the television station, and I tried to have a meeting with them. We sat, we discussed about what the program was about, and then I negotiated with them for them to understand that aside the fact that this program helps and supports children, but I also want them to understand the fact that we all have responsibilities in ensuring that we prepare the next generation that is going to take over when none of us can do the work that we currently do. And I think after a long discussion, they agreed to a certain amount, an amount that was, I think, way less than 10% of the total amount that was sent to us. And when I presented this figure to the members of my organization, they were, they were in awe of how I was able to stroke a deal like that. And I believe that negotiation skills can save you a cost that you were supposed to incur just because you didn't know how to sell your product and services, or just because you didn't know how to make the people understand that coming to the table to discuss this and coming to the table to agree on what this looks like is going to be a win-win situation for everybody. And I think I was successful in making them understand that coming on board was a win-win situation for all of us, regardless of whatever your position in the society is. It is a collective responsibility for everybody to support children, to give them the platform that they deserve, to provide them mentorship, but most importantly, to make their voices heard. And I strongly believe that those messages, or that message, resonated very well with the management at the time. And then we were granted, and a coverage was provided. Obviously, editing was done, and then the program was aired on TV. So, therefore, I want to remind all of you today, or I want to tell all of you today that hard skills are important. It is important to go to school. It is important to go to vocational training institutions in order to acquire the hard skills that are relevant for you to be successful in any job. But while acquiring those skills, remember to learn how to communicate. Proper communication will save you from conflicts that are unsolicited. It will save you from problems that you were never meant to be a part of. It will save you from troubles that probably could make your life difficult. And while you communicate properly and appropriately, remember that the world is difficult for everybody. Therefore, empathy is crucial. Learn to put yourself in the shoes of others. Learn to understand what they are going through and how you can be that individual that is going to less the burden on them. And finally, learn to negotiate. Learn to understand that money is important, but you don't need money to pay for every single service. But beyond that as well, negotiation skills make you understand that I can always reach the middle ground with people. And I believe that a lot of wars that are happening today is because negotiations have failed. A lot of conflicts that are happening in the world today is because negotiations have failed. We have failed as a society to always negotiate and reach a common goal, to always negotiate and reach the middle line. So put it as part of what you need to work on in 2026 if you do not already have the skills. If you already have the skill set, you have proven record of using them over and over, well done to you. And I believe that it can only get better from there for some of you that already have the skills. And those of you that are learning to acquire the skills, I also believe that it's going to be a valuable skills that are going to save you, that are going to provide you opportunities you never really thought you will ever get. So thank you very much. It has been Mike and Mine with Omar until I come back your way again. And it was a pleasure having this discussion with you. Bye-bye. Compassion is not equal to ownership of someone else's generosity. And while you think about that, welcome to Mike and Mine with Omar. I am super excited to be back again and to talk about a topic that is very sensitive and one that requires us to have an honest conversation. And today I will be talking about the culture of help and entitlement. But before I actually delve into the topic, I want to remind you to subscribe. Like the video, bring your comments in the comment section, and also tap on the bell icon so whenever I upload a new video, you get a notification. A lot of you are watching the video, which I am very grateful for, but have not subscribed to the channel yet. So please subscribe. So as I stated, I am going to be talking about culture of help versus entitlement. Are we really entitled to other people's support and help? And I asked this question today because every December and January brings the same conversation in our social media space, and sometimes even in the mainstream media space, where group of Gambians who choose to spend their money, private citizens of course, who choose to spend their money on the way they wanted to spend it, and then there are others who believe that the way the money has been spent could have helped so many families who lives in abject poverty, who require support or who need support, and it turns to a conversation of, do people that are poor become entitled to other people's wealth? Are they entitled to their support? Or are they even entitled to any form of support that comes from private citizens, or even some cases, it could be civil servants as well? While this is not a comfortable topic to discuss, I believe that we need to talk about what help really looks like versus what entitlement looks like, and also to dissect whose responsibility is it to take care of people that are less fortunate in our society. Is it the government? Is it the private citizens? Or is it the combination of both? And before I will really tell you what I think, I want to share a short story. In 2022, when I started my master's program in public health with a specialization in health economics, my first day in class, I remember a lecturer asking a question about what is the biggest disease in the world today. Some people talk about malaria, some people talk about cholera, some people talk about non-communicable diseases, and many more. And the lecturer said, it is poverty. And that struck a nerve in me. And then I started thinking about how those poverty becomes the biggest disease in the world. And through so many research, I realized that poverty offers you no chance at all. It gives you no option to what you wish to eat. It gives you no option to be educated or to have your family being educated. It deprives you of healthcare in some parts of the world, or in some cases, healthcare expenditure makes you extremely poor. It is also responsible for starvation and so many societal ills, all of which has, in one way or the other, contributes to bad health outcomes or very terrible health outcomes for so many people. But also, I understand that for people that argue that private citizens spending their money, particularly on musicians, needs to spend that money helping people that are not so well off in our society, are justified, because poverty is brutal, poverty is wicked, poverty does not leave you with choice to choose what to eat, what to wear, where to go, and so many things. while those that believe that private citizens should be allowed to spend their money the way that they want, such as those that spend their money giving it to entertainers, or even spending it on probably organizing lavish weddings and so many things, are also with the opinion that in some cases they work really hard for their money and they are the ones that are going to decide how to spend their money, not the other way around. I believe that both of them are justified in the way that they think and what they believe in. However, we need to look at the deeper issue when it comes to this whole discussion about how private citizens should spend their money versus how they are supposed to help people. First, I want to acknowledge that help is a very strong culture in where I am coming from. And help in terms of giving charity is also a very strong religious teaching as well. So coming from a background where people are celebrated for the help that they give others, also where people get, where through help, people are able to educate themselves, they are able to educate their children, they are also able to keep their head above water. That means that sometimes when care is not taken, that can be turned into an issue of entitlement. Because when help is rooted so much in culture and people's beliefs and tradition, it can be mistaken for an entitlement. So I understand for those that believe that is, people that are not well off are entitled to help. But those that also believe that rich people should be allowed to spend their money the way that they want to spend it are also right. Because I believe that sometimes the only difference between a rich person and a poor person in terms of expenditure is only access to resources. And I will tell you why I say that. For example, I come from a society where organizing programs such as wedding, naming ceremonies, and so many celebrations require spending an extensive amount of money. And for a lot of us, we are not immune to this at all. So therefore, both rich people and poor people spend when they have ceremonies. They spend on what they want to spend their money on. For example, an average person or somebody that is struggling might choose to spend maybe 20, 30,000 to organize a wedding or a naming ceremony or something of that kind. While somebody that is rich might choose to spend $500,000 or even $1 million to organize a wedding. So for me, the difference between these two people is only access to money and resources. The rich person has enough to spend on what they think they need, and the poor person does not have enough, but is also able to gather some resources to spend money on what he or she believes is important to them. So therefore, when we're looking at this topic, we're supposed to look at it from a perspective that both people, rich or poor, make choices. And both rich and poor spend their money on something that they believe is relevant to them. So, and I also do not think that a lot of the time, it is in our place as individuals to dictate what people choose to spend their money on or how people choose to spend their money. And I want to also say that we come from a society where help culture becomes deeply rooted. And sometimes, because it is deeply rooted, it can be mistaken for entitlement. So it's important to remind people that personal charity must not be mistaken for government's responsibility. Charity can never be equal to government's responsibility. So in all of these conversations, we need to reflect where does government comes in all of this, because giving can never be a social policy. And because giving can never be social policy, then government must step in as to how and where they need to come and assist the society. Let's say, for example, at least I understand that, and I think a lot of my viewers also understand that poverty is a structural issue. Because, and most often as well, poverty is rooted from inequality, inequities in society, but most importantly, lack of government policies and interventions that put certain part of the society disadvantaged versus the other part of the society. So for us to address the issue of poverty, I believe that the outrage that is directed to individuals or private citizens as to how and where they spend their money on, similar outrage must also be directed to government. What social programs and policies has government put in place in order to alleviate poverty? And what systems exist to protect or support children that are born into poverty? So it's important to look at all of those issues, but it's also important to understand that as much as individuals have their right to demand support, to also ask people that are well off to give them the needed support that they need, we need to put government at the center of this conversation. Beyond the understanding of structural poverty and how government policies can help us alleviate poverty, we need to advocate for systems that works for everybody. For example, access to education. Education is one of the most important gift any child can receive from anyone. And at least I have the opportunity to sit at this platform today to talk to you because somebody believed in me and somebody invested in me. And I believe that that is the story of so many people. So government must make education accessible to everyone. And I know at this point someone might be asking, but we have a free health policy in the Gambia, free educational policy in the Gambia. And I understand that. But is that accessible to everybody? And does everyone has equal opportunity to be educated? I understand government might have said it's free education for everyone because people are not paying tuition fees or they are not paying school fees. But there are other things that are needed for a child to be educated. That is beyond school fees. That is also beyond what the reach of their parents. Apart from that as well, we need to have social protection programs. And I'm happy to know that there is a social protection agency in the Gambia, currently led by a young person. And I hope that that agency works extremely hard to ensure that access to resources become decentralized. And people that are at the lower level of the pyramid, social pyramid, can have access to these resources to be able to take care of themselves and to also be able to take care of their families. While that is something that I commend, I must say that government needs to do more. And in doing more would mean that they need to be very intentional as to how social services are distributed, how social services are being accessed, but also how it is being utilized among people that are at the bottom of the social pyramid. So for me, if you ask me, I believe that the outrage, especially for people that are not well off, is justified. Justified in the sense that being poor and seeing people that are well off in the society giving money to musicians or spending it on things, and you watching it is extremely painful. But the question here is, are you in any form entitled to that money that the rich people are given? The simple answer is no. You are not entitled to it. While it will be nice to have them support, and while it will be also incredible to have rich people come to the table to support where government cannot, because we must also acknowledge and understand that we come from resource-constrained society, a society that does not have so much resources. So therefore, every individual contribution and support can and will go a long way in alleviating some people from poverty. But we must also decide that how we are going to support, especially for people that are well off. If you ask me, giving money people today to take care of one or two problems is brilliant, but it's not sustainable. Giving money to individuals to spend it on education, skill development, or maybe start a business journey will make more difference than giving money to people to eat today and take care of their immediate needs, and tomorrow, they come back to you for more. And I feel like if that continues to happen, individuals that continue to give, or individuals that give a lot of resources, will also become tired. And if they become tired, that creates some sort of animosity between people that are at the top of the social ladder and those that are below the social ladder. But also, I want to say that, a couple of days ago, we had a TikTok live where we were talking about the same issue. And there was a speaker who said that poverty is not only the absence of money and resources, but also the absence of choice. And that struck a chord in me. And I really believe that because of that lack of choice, a lot of people have been pushed to say or do things that can come off as entitlement. And I believe that no one or nobody is entitled to anybody's support. While it would be nice to support, but we must also be blunt when it comes to saying the truth. So rich people must be allowed to decide how they want to spend their money. Must they be encouraged to help and provide certain services because they can afford it? Absolutely yes. Must rich people be compelled to pay higher taxes so that government uses those money to redistribute it among the population, especially those at the bottom of the social ladder? Absolutely yes. Must rich people be encouraged to set up businesses and factories so that a lot of people can get jobs? Absolutely yes. So I believe that part of the outrage should be directed towards that. Let's encourage rich people to invest so that jobs are created and many people can find employment, not just any kind of employment, but at least meaningful employment that enables them to access resources that are important to them. So at this point, I want to remind you that if you have not subscribed and you're still watching, please subscribe, like the video, and comment. And subscribing to this channel would absolutely mean the world to me. So finally, I want to also say that we must understand that personal charity is not and can never be a government policy. So therefore, any form of outrage or any form of anger about how unequal our society is and how people at the bottom of the social ladder are not being seen, heard, helped, or supported must be directed to the government. We must encourage people that can afford or that can support individuals to do so, but majority of the outrage, in my opinion, should be directed to the government to make them, to ensure that they create policies that is going to work, that is going to support every citizens, but also to create systems that does not only empower, but also provide opportunities where everybody grows, where everybody thrives, but also an opportunity where people feel not only seen and heard, but also given the opportunity to utilize their full potential. So thank you very much. It has been Mike and Mine with Omar. And please subscribe to the channel, like, and then comment. And I mean, let's build a community where we're going to be, where we're going to be dependent on each other. A community that is going to be empowering, a community that knows and believes that we cannot achieve anything by ourselves. We need a collective power in order to be able to achieve so many things in order to make the world better for everyone. So thank you, and it has been Mike and Mine with Omar. Until I come back your way again, and have an incredible weekend, and take care. Bye bye.